The performance was meant to captivate, not to mark an end. Yet for these actors, their art and their departure became inseparable. Here are 30 Hollywood figures who passed away live on set, leaving behind unforgettable legacies. Tommy Cooper. On April 15, 1984, comedian Tommy Cooper stood before a packed theater and millions of TV viewers. He began his act, delivering his signature mix of magic and mishaps. Moments later, he clutched his chest and collapsed backward onto the stage. The crowd, used to his comedic blunders, roared with laughter. They assumed it was all part of the performance. Behind the scenes, panic erupted. Host Jimmy Tarbuck and fellow performers rushed to assess the situation. But for a few moments, the cameras stayed on the stage, oblivious to the seriousness of what had just happened. Cooper had suffered a massive heart attack. While the audience waited for the show to continue, paramedics worked desperately behind the curtain to save him. Tragically, their efforts were in vain. Cooper was announced dead shortly after arriving at the hospital. Mitsuharu Misawa. On June 13, 2009, a tragic event unfolded in Hiroshima during a live wrestling match. Mitsuharu Misawa, a Japanese wrestling icon, was known for his fearless style and incredible skill. That night, he entered the ring for a tag team match, unaware it would be his final bout. During the match, Misawa was lifted for a suplex. In a split second, everything changed. Misawa collapsed in the ring, unmoving. The move had caused a catastrophic spinal cord injury. What initially seemed like part of the match quickly became a horrifying reality. Medical staff and fellow wrestlers rushed to his aid. The broadcast turned solemn as CPR was performed in the ring, and the audience watched in stunned silence. Despite frantic efforts to revive him, Misawa was rushed to a nearby hospital. The wrestling world was shattered when news broke that the legendary athlete had passed away. Steve Irwin. On September 4, 2006, the world lost Steve Irwin, the beloved crocodile hunter. He was filming Ocean's Deadliest, a documentary about dangerous marine creatures, when tragedy struck. While snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef, Irwin came across an 8-foot stingray. Stingrays are usually shy and avoid humans, but as Irwin swam close behind it, the animal reacted defensively. Its tail suddenly lashed upward, and its barb struck Irwin directly in the chest. The sharp barb pierced his heart, causing a fatal wound. His crew immediately rushed to help, pulling him from the water and performing CPR. Despite their desperate efforts, Irwin could not be saved. The moment was caught on camera as the crew filmed for the documentary. However, out of respect for his family, the footage was never made public. Irwin's death at just 44 years old devastated fans worldwide. Karl Wallenda. On March 22, 1978, Karl Wallenda, the famed high-wire performer, faced his final act. At 73 years old, he attempted one of his boldest stunts yet, a tightrope walk between the towers of the Condado Plaza Hotel in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Even at his age, Wallenda was known for defying gravity and fear, captivating audiences with death-defying feats. That day, strong winds swept through the area, adding to the danger. Wallenda stepped carefully onto the wire, balancing with precision honed over decades. But as he neared the middle, tragedy struck. The winds grew fiercer, and he lost his footing. He fell to his death, a heartbreaking moment caught on camera. Though not aired live, the footage later surfaced, shocking fans worldwide. Wallenda's death was a devastating loss to the world of circus arts. His career was built on bravery, skill, and an unyielding pursuit of perfection. Yet, this tragedy highlighted the immense risks he embraced every time he performed. Pedro Henrique. On March 12, 2023, the music world lost one of its brightest stars. Pedro Henrique, a renowned Brazilian guitarist, passed away during a live performance at a São Paulo music festival. At only 39 years old, Henrique had captivated audiences with his electrifying stage presence and extraordinary talent. In the middle of a high-energy set, Henrique suddenly collapsed, leaving the crowd in shock. Known for his work with top bands and a flourishing solo career, he had earned a reputation as one of Brazil's greatest guitarists. His performances were a blend of passion and soul that resonated deeply with fans. Emergency crews quickly rushed him to a nearby hospital. Despite their efforts, he was pronounced dead on arrival. The cause was later confirmed to be a heart attack. Valencia Prime. Valencia Prime, a 25-year-old drag performer from Philadelphia, passed away tragically on September 12, 2022. She collapsed on stage during a live performance at Taboo Lounge and Sports Bar, leaving the local community in mourning. Known as Philadelphia's plus-size dancing diva, Prime was hosting her signature show, Prime Time, when the incident occurred. She became unresponsive mid-performance, and despite immediate medical attention, she was pronounced dead at Jefferson Hospital. The Philadelphia medical examiner later attributed her death to atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, citing natural causes. Prime's passing sent ripples through the LGBTQ+ community and beyond. Tributes poured in from fans, friends, and fellow performers, all of whom remembered her as a beacon of positivity and joy. Taboo Lounge, where she often performed, expressed heartfelt condolences. Today, we mourn the loss of a very bright and rising star. Valencia Prime brought light to every stage, and her legacy will never be forgotten. Colonel Bruce Hampton. On May 1, 2017, Colonel Bruce Hampton, a beloved figure in the jam band scene, passed away on stage during a live performance in Atlanta. The event was meant to be a joyous 70th birthday celebration, featuring a lineup of talented musicians who had played alongside him throughout his legendary career. These included members of the Hampton Grease Band and Aquarium Rescue Unit, two of his most notable groups. In the middle of an energetic jam session, Hampton suddenly collapsed, leaning against a speaker. At first, the audience and bandmates assumed it was part of his unique stage presence. Hampton was well known for his humor and quirky, unpredictable performances. But as the moments ticked by, it became clear something was wrong. Paramedics were called, and Hampton was rushed to the hospital. Despite their efforts, he was pronounced dead later that evening. Barbara Weldens. On July 19, 2017, Barbara Weldens, a rising French singer-songwriter, tragically died during a live performance at the Léo Ferré Festival in Goudron, France. Weldens, who had recently released her debut album, was known for her powerful voice and deeply emotional performances. She was quickly gaining recognition as a gifted artist. Weldens often performed barefoot, adding an earthy, intimate quality to her shows. On that fateful night, she unknowingly stepped on faulty electrical equipment. The malfunction caused a sudden, fatal electric shock, and she collapsed in front of the stunned audience. Emergency responders rushed to assist, but it was too late. Weldens was pronounced dead on the scene. She was just 35 years old, and her passing cut short a promising career, leaving fans and the music world mourning her immense talent. Juan Jumalon. On November 5, 2023, beloved Filipino radio broadcaster Juan "Johnny" Walker Jumalon was tragically killed during a live broadcast. Jumalon was known for his uplifting shows on 94.7 Gold Mega Coloma FM. His style focused on humor and positivity, steering away from controversial topics. The attack happened early in the morning at Jumalon's home studio in Colambugan, Misamis Occidental. Two men arrived, pretending to announce a lost item. While one held a staff member at gunpoint, the other entered the booth where Jumalon was broadcasting. He shot Jumalon twice, stealing a necklace, before fleeing on a motorcycle with a third accomplice. The horrifying event was caught on a Facebook livestream and CCTV cameras. The footage shocked fans and colleagues alike, as Jumalon's legacy as a joyful voice in broadcasting ended in such a violent manner. Sib Hashian. Sib Hashian, the legendary drummer for the rock band Boston, passed away on March 22, 2017, while performing on a cruise ship. Born on August 17, 1949, Hashian was 67 years old at the time of his death. He was integral to Boston's success, contributing his iconic drumming to their famous albums Boston and Don't Look Back. On that day, Hashian was performing on a Legends of Rock cruise, a special event featuring classic rock legends. Mid-performance, Hashian suddenly collapsed on stage. Medical staff acted immediately, but despite their efforts, he was pronounced dead. Reports later revealed that Hashian had been battling kidney cancer prior to his passing. His death sent waves of sadness through the rock music community, where he was admired for his talent and contributions to one of rock's most enduring sounds. Shawn. On April 17, 1987, comedian and actor Shawn passed away unexpectedly during a live performance. Shawn was mid-routine at the University of California, San Diego, when he suddenly collapsed. At first, the audience thought it was part of his comedic act, but as the moments stretched on, it became clear something was wrong. Shawn had suffered a heart attack and was rushed to the hospital. Tragically, he was pronounced dead shortly after. He was 63 years old. Known for his roles in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World and The Producers, Shawn was celebrated for his offbeat humor and unique style. His sudden death during a performance shocked fans and the entertainment world alike. Lillian Hardin Armstrong. Lillian Hardin Armstrong, an influential jazz pianist, composer, and bandleader, was born on February 3, 1898, in Memphis, Tennessee. She played a pivotal role in shaping jazz history and was the second wife of the legendary Louis Armstrong. Following Louis Armstrong's death in July 1971, Lillian attended his funeral in New York before returning to Chicago. Just weeks later, on August 27, 1971, she performed at a televised memorial concert in his honor. While playing the piano, she collapsed on stage. She was rushed to the hospital, but did not survive. Lillian Hardin Armstrong passed away from a heart attack at 73 years old. Her passing marked the end of an era, as she was deeply tied to the golden age of jazz. K.K. Krishna Kumar Kunath. Indian playback singer K.K. or Krishna Kumar Kunath passed away on May 31, 2022. He was a celebrated artist in the Indian music industry, known for his emotive voice and versatile singing style. Born on August 23, 1968, in Delhi, KK began his career in the 1990s. He quickly rose to fame with memorable Bollywood tracks like Tadap Tadap from Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam and Kuda Jan from Bakna Ai Hasino. He also sang in multiple Indian languages, broadening his reach and impact. KK's death occurred during a live concert at Kolkata's Nazrul Mancha Auditorium. Midway through his performance, he collapsed. Despite being rushed to the hospital, he was pronounced dead on arrival. The cause of death was cardiac arrest. At 54, KK left behind a legacy of unforgettable music, and his sudden passing was a significant loss to fans and the Indian music industry. Zultan. Hungarian music star Zultan tragically passed away during a live TV performance in Sweden. While recording a video segment, he suddenly collapsed on stage after suffering a heart attack. The shocking incident unfolded in front of the camera, leaving viewers stunned. Speculations about his death quickly emerged. Some German and Hungarian newspapers questioned whether it was truly a natural event or possibly a planned murder. Despite the controversy, Zultan's death left fans grieving and created a void in the music world. Costa Titch. South African rapper and dancer Costa Titch, born Konstantinos Tsobanoglu, passed away on March 11, 2023. He was performing at the Ultra South Africa Music Festival in Johannesburg when tragedy struck. During his energetic set, Costa collapsed twice on stage. The second collapse proved fatal. Despite swift medical attention, he could not be revived. The exact cause of his death remains unclear, with some speculating it might have been related to a seizure. His death shocked fans and the music community, cutting short a rising career. Papa Wemba. Congolese music legend Papa Wemba passed away on April 24, 2016, while performing at the Femua Music Festival in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. Known for popularizing soukous music, he was mid-performance when he collapsed on stage. Efforts to save him were immediate, but sadly, he was pronounced dead shortly after. Papa Wemba's career spanned decades, blending traditional African rhythms with modern sounds. His influence shaped generations of musicians, and his sudden death marked the end of an era in African music. Goodbye to gravity. On October 30th, 2015, tragedy struck during the album release concert of Romanian metal band Goodbye to Gravity. The event took place at the Collective nightclub in Bucharest. A pyrotechnics display went horribly wrong, igniting the club's soundproofing foam. The fire spread rapidly, turning the venue into chaos as attendees scrambled to escape. The disaster claimed 64 lives, including 4 band members: Vlad Tselea, Mihai Alexandru, Bogdan Enache, and Alex Pascu. The tragedy sparked nationwide mourning and ignited protests over corruption and unsafe venues in Romania. The incident became a somber reminder of the dire need for better safety regulations in entertainment spaces. Irma Bule. Indonesian singer Irma Bule, famous for performing with live cobras, tragically passed away on April 4, 2016. The incident occurred during a concert in Karawang, West Java. While on stage, Irma was bitten by a king cobra she used as part of her act. Despite the bite, she refused immediate treatment, believing the venom wouldn't affect her. Hours later, she collapsed mid-performance. She was rushed to the hospital but sadly could not be saved. Irma's daring performances had made her a star, but they also contributed to her untimely death. Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim, the quirky American singer known for his falsetto voice and ukulele, passed away on November 30, 1996. He became a household name with his 1960s hit Tiptoe Through the Tulips. During a gala in Minneapolis, Tiny Tim suffered a heart attack while performing on stage. Medics rushed him to the hospital, but he was pronounced dead shortly after arriving. His unique style and eccentric personality left a lasting mark on the music world. Christina Grimmie. Christina Grimmie, a gifted singer and former contestant on The Voice, was tragically killed on June 10, 2016. The incident occurred after her concert in Orlando, Florida. As she signed autographs for fans, a gunman approached and opened fire. Her brother heroically tackled the attacker, but not before Christina was fatally wounded. The gunman then took his own life. At just 22 years old, Christina's promising career and life were cut short, leaving fans and the music industry in shock. Dimebag Darrell. Legendary guitarist Dimebag Darrell, known for his work with Pantera and Damageplan, was killed on December 8, 2004. The tragedy occurred during a Damageplan concert in Columbus, Ohio. A gunman stormed the stage and shot Darrell multiple times, killing him instantly. The attack claimed the lives of 3 others before a police officer fatally shot the assailant. Darrell, celebrated for his groundbreaking guitar skills and stage energy, was just 38 years old. His death remains one of the darkest moments in rock history. Owen Hart. On May 23, 1999, tragedy struck during WWE's Over the Edge event. Owen Hart, performing as his character, the Blue Blazer, attempted a daring entrance from the rafters using a harness and grapple line. The stunt went horribly wrong. Hart fell about 78 feet into the ring below. Despite immediate medical attention, he succumbed to his injuries. WWE refrained from releasing any footage of the tragic accident. His untimely death shocked wrestling fans worldwide. Red Foxx. Legendary comedian Red Foxx, best known for Sanford and Son, passed away on October 11, 1991. He was rehearsing on the set of The Royal Family when he suddenly collapsed. Foxx was rushed to the hospital, but doctors could not save him. He died of a heart attack at the age of 68. Known for his sharp wit and vibrant humor, his death marked the end of a groundbreaking career in comedy. Dawn Brancheau. On February 24, 2010, Dawn Brancheau, a seasoned SeaWorld trainer, lost her life in a tragic incident. During a routine interaction, an orca named Tilikum unexpectedly pulled her underwater. Despite rescue efforts, Brancheau could not be saved. The incident highlighted the dangers of working with captive animals and ignited fierce debates about marine parks and trainer safety. Brancheau's death left a lasting impact on the industry and public opinion. Silver King. On May 11, 2019, famed Mexican wrestler Silver King passed away during a match in London. He was performing at the Roundhouse in Camden when he collapsed in the ring. Spectators initially thought it was part of the act. Sadly, medical assistance could not save him, and he was pronounced dead shortly after. The wrestling world mourned the loss of one of its beloved stars, Nick Menza. Nick Menza, former drummer of Megadeth, died on May 21, 2016, while performing with his band OHM. He collapsed on stage during a show at a Los Angeles club. Fans and medics rushed to help, but efforts to revive him failed. Menza was pronounced dead at the scene. Known for his dynamic drumming, his sudden death was a significant loss for the metal music community. Juan Carlos Formell. On May 26, 2023, Cuban musician and composer Juan Carlos Formell suffered a fatal heart attack. He was performing in the Bronx when he suddenly collapsed. Formell was 59 years old. His passing deeply saddened the Latin music world, where his contributions were celebrated and admired. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, the iconic martial artist and actor, died suddenly on July 20, 1973. He was just 32 years old. Known for films like Enter the Dragon and his revolutionary martial arts philosophy, his death stunned the world. Lee was in Hong Kong working on a film when he collapsed unexpectedly. Doctors determined the cause to be cerebral edema, or swelling of the brain. The condition was likely triggered by a reaction to a painkiller he had taken earlier. His passing marked a tragic end to a groundbreaking career that changed martial arts and cinema forever. Brandon Lee. Tragically, Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, also met an untimely death. On March 31, 1993, during the filming of The Crow, a scene required his character to be shot. The gun, intended to fire blanks, discharged a real bullet fragment instead. This occurred because a bullet with no powder had become lodged in the barrel during an earlier scene. When the blank was fired, it propelled the fragment forward, striking Brandon in the abdomen. He was rushed to the hospital, where surgeons worked for hours to save him. Despite their efforts, Brandon was pronounced dead. The official cause was a gunshot wound. His death was eerily similar to his father's in its suddenness and the profound sense of loss it left behind.